People often use the phrase, "if these walls could talk." But here at the Kennedy Martinsdale Farmstead, the walls do talk, whispering to every visitor a fascinating story about historical craftsmanship, engineering, and the lives of the families who called the farmstead home for more than 200 years. 6 structures are recognized on the site for their architectural significance: the English barn, the farmhouse, the cowshed, the wagon house, the ice house, and the well.
Many of the buildings date from the 18th century, which is almost the earliest you get when you're in the Bernards Township area.
The English barn is the architectural centerpiece of the farmstead. Historians dated its construction to around 1740, using clues chiseled in time.
The large beams in the barn are all hand-hewn. So that means somebody took an adze, which is like a flat axe or hoe, and basically shaped them by hand. When the smaller lumber between those large timbers, like a tie beam, are also hand-hewn, that means it's early. That means it's before the sawmills.
The barn was added to in the 1800s, and this too gives us clues to the farmstead's past.
It was doubled in size at that time, which means that the property was important because it was a big barn. Big things back then took a lot of work.
Today, the barn is only one of a few surviving local examples of 18th century English architecture. Further down the drive is the farmhouse, now the hub of the Art Center. Although the main block of the farmhouse may date to before the Revolutionary War, each beam and nail reveals how the house expanded from a humble home and school under Reverend Kennedy in the mid-1700s to a large commercial farm under subsequent owners.
This room was not this big when it was first built. It was at least 2 rooms. But if you look up at the beams and you'll see these slots, that's usually an indication that there was a wall there at one point. This is where the division between the original house and the later house is.
In the kitchen, a hidden staircase was found by volunteers during renovation, further evidence that a second part of the house was added to the original structure. More readily visible to visitors, hand-hewn timbers across the ceilings, a Dutch door, cooking fireplaces, and walls filled with brick and horsehair noggin for insulation, all typical of 17 and 1800s construction. These 2 structures, now carefully preserved and repurposed as an art center, invite visitors to imagine the generations of people who lived and labored here. Along with the work done to the site's additional buildings, its preservation done with a purpose.
This is a really good example of what you can do with an old collection of buildings and make it viable for the future and have it be both an educational tool for art and culture, but also history and the history of the area.